All right, we're going to go back to the House of Squalor story happening in Boston.
The Hell House.
House of Horrors. It reminded me of, do you guys remember Megan Huntsman from Utah? 7 babies were found dead in her garage.
Yeah.
Kind of similar. She blamed it on her meth addiction. You guys were saying, you know, there's no drugs, or does she have mental illness? Do you guys, did that comparison come up with you guys?
Well, I was expecting it to be that and more. I was actually expecting, I like Judy, I thought it was going to be a cognitive impairment, IQ problem, and drugs, and the only thing that now we have is maybe mental illness, but even that, it says
I don't know, but her friend called in Dr. Drew and was like, no, she was smart. She had friends.
But she was not, so there's no IQ problem.
Right.
But the mental illnesses happen when they happen, you know what I mean? They sink into it. But this is not the behavior of somebody with, you know, typical mental illness at all.
And then on top of that, the really weird comparison for me were the men in these women's lives completely oblivious.
Although we can't say, we can't implicate because the guy's not been charged.
You know, he hasn't been charged, but he was sitting in that same house of squalor, which is disgusting.
With
Your kid
5
hit
babies.
5 babies.
I heard they had no running water, no electricity. He doesn't know she had 7 children. I mean, she had 7 in total.
And you think she's babysitting these kids that never leave the house?
Exactly.
That's what I said. Like full-time babies.
Right, and 2 of the babies, there's no records on them. So obviously they weren't born in a hospital. They were born in the home. So you're telling me this guy didn't have a job. This guy
so much blood
when you have a child. He wasn't aware that she was pregnant. He wasn't there when she had these babies. Come on.
Well, that was amazing.
I'm sorry.
With Megan Huntsman. How did she have all these babies in that
And
home?
she had that mattress with blood soaked, and the guy, I didn't know.
But with Megan Huntsman, we see like clear indicators of mental illness and substance problems.
Yes.
With this case, we don't see that with Erika.
Right.
She doesn't have those significant indicators that we know of to predict these types of problems. And so I don't think it's mental illness. I don't know what it is.
I mean, something's wrong
There's
with her,
something
what
wrong.
I think to me is that I heard they had no electricity, no running water, but she's all up on her Facebook page, so she had a smartphone where she could update, and she knew she wanted to put out the image of everything's fine, I got 2 great kids, mommy's a great, you know, my kids are getting A's in their class. So I mean, she was smart enough to know that she wanted to put out that image. So she wasn't stark. And then they talk about close family. I'm sorry, Dr.
never go to her house?
Thank you. How do you have children, grandchildren, and everybody says, oh, they have a big family and they're all down the street, and they didn't.
They knew about the 2. They didn't know about the 4.
But they never came into the home. And grandparents have no problem with like squalor and dead animals laying on your floor.
Judy, I have a question for you because one of the little baby, the 3-month-old or the 6-month-old, when the CPS came in and the police came in, the baby, when they would hold the baby, they said the baby would not hold on, and they said that was a sign of never being held ever.
The 3-year-old as well
Couldn't
can't even walk. And so
Just
this type of extreme environmental deprivation, especially for the 3-year-old, I mean, Dr. Drew, we know the brain. I mean, you have completely deprived the brain of its
well, we can't even localize those sorts of things because those are the kids. Those are the kids that end up with what are called attachment. You know, what they call that attachment
disorders.
Sort of a real severe attachment.
Really severe, like reactive attachment disorder.
The last one I saw was a kid that was literally lighting people on fire and didn't understand that somebody was getting hurt. They couldn't put it together. People don't really exist to them. That child was like an Romanian orphan type situation. Of severe neglect, and that the brain does not develop normally in that setting at all.
And I read part of the story that those 2 other children that she claimed she was babysitting, that she was like, no, she spent plenty of time with them within the home. I'm like, I'm sorry. A baby would be my baby's 10.5 months old. When he was 10.5 months old, was already walking. I mean, so a 3-year-old that has like would be walking,
but there's
nowhere
they're
not even talking.
You can't walk in the house because there's no room because it's filled with campers and disgusting stuff.
No, you're right. And this is another example where people are actually living their lives on social media instead of actually living their lives in real time. You know, and that's the thing, because she presents as a pretty well-functioning person on her Facebook. She looks pretty normal.
7 pregnancies, it just blows my mind that her husband or her boyfriend didn't even know. That's just so BS. I'm sorry, it's impossible.
Hopefully we'll get some updates and have a little bit more of an explanation. But weigh in on this story, and like Judy just said, do you ever see someone in reality and their social media life does not equal that whatsoever?
That's a good one.
Let us know.